What's up, everybody? This is John from iRacing. This video is going to be showing you how to use our hex pattern and really any other pattern that you get from our site on Photoshop so that you can apply patterns to your templates, designs, anything you want here, and make your designs kind of look like this right here. I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors, Engine 4 Coffee Company. Check out their stuff at engine4coffee.com. Go grab a bag, tell them we sent you over there. But with that said, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk through what comes in this file here with the hex pattern. So once you open up your hex pattern file, you should have all these layers over here to the right. These are just colors, so you can kind of play around and see which colors look good and what doesn't. These are the background colors in purple, and you can just turn these off or turn them on. I usually turn them off when I'm transferring the pattern over, or just I don't use the background colors on the car because my car is the background color. This is just so you can get an idea here. If you want to change the color, you can double click on this little gray icon at the bottom of the box and change it to whatever color you want to. But what we are going to do is take this one here, the hex color for, and the hex pattern itself, shift and click on both of them, and then we're going to right click, duplicate layers, and then I'm duplicating this over to the next gen Camaro 011 template. We just transfer this over, and let's say it's over top your whole design. So just to update it for you, show you here, it's over that whole design, and that looks pretty bad. I mean, you might like that in some things, but not others. Let's say we want this hex template just to be inside this powder blue color here. So I'm going to take these two layers and put it right over top of powder blue, because that's the layer that I only want it on top of. To make the hex pattern smaller, double click on this little gray bar here on hex pattern, and we're going to drop this down a lot. I'm using my mouse wheel to go over scale and just keep dropping it down. Let's say at about 17 is fine. And then I want to change the color. I'm going to use this green color that's also in the design, so it kind of draws some similarity. And then I'll update that on the car so you can kind of see what we're looking at. Not half bad, we'll take it. Next thing we're going to want to do is click on this hex pattern, make sure it's highlighted, and I'm going to hold Control and click on powder blue because that's the only layer that I want it on. And you have to click inside this box. You should see your marching ants come up. And then we're just coming down to the bottom, this little box with a circle in it, and if you hold it long enough or hold over it long enough, this little dog will pop up so you know you're in the right place, and just click on that. And that's only going to apply it to your powder blue side here. Then I'll update this. Wrong button. So you can see we're only on the powder blue now. So yeah, say we want to do that again. Let's say we want to do it to this dark green layer over here. All I'm going to do is take both of these again. I'm going to hit Alt and drag it right over top. And that's going to duplicate it over top of that. I'm going to unlink that and delete that layer for now. With this hex pattern still selected here, I'm going to do the same thing. Control, click on my dark green layer, and then click on layer mask. And now it should be only on the layer mask. You don't see it because it's the same color. We're going to make it this light blue color there. And we can check it out and see we have that just on that side only. All right, so a problem that you might be seeing here is I don't really want this hex pattern on this little window blackout layer here. Well, you could always just turn the window blackout on for this car, and it's going to cover that up. But let's say that we just want to get rid of it in general because we want to make that a certain color. So I'm going to go down to this layer here. There's two ways I guess you can do this technically. One would be to grab your eraser tool, come over to this hex pattern layer right here, and then once you click on it, you'll get this message coming up that you have to rasterize it. You hit OK. You can no longer edit the scale of the hex pattern for that one anymore, but you can just erase all that off your window blackout layer. And now it's gone. Let's back up and show you the other way to do it so we don't have to really change the size. I can click on this layer here that we made our mask out of. Grab a paintbrush, hard, round, and maybe something about 58 is okay. And we are going to use the black brush. Make sure this is set to black, and just kind of go over all that. And that's going to edit our layer mask that we had, or mask that we had. And that's another way to do it. And now we can still edit the size of this if we wanted to. All right, and for the last trick, I'll kind of show you here that you can do with these patterns when you're creating patterns and putting stuff on the car. Some cars won't really line up with a pattern that you're using. So there's kind of a way we can go around this. Say we wanted to create where this car, we have a hex pattern down here, but it kind of fades out as it approaches more up top here and then nothing up here. So what I'm going to do, since this is on the powder blue side, I'm actually going to just get rid of this for now, over the dark green. I'm going to actually click on this where we have our layer mask at, over top of our powder blue. I'm going to grab this paintbrush again, but this time we're going to a soft round. Size, you can kind of just scale it up to see what you like. You might not like certain sizes, whatever. Another little trick is if you have a brush that looks like this crosshairs, you can hit the caps lock button and it creates a circle. This is what I tend to use most of the time. We're going to turn our opacity down to about, let's just start at 25. You can really just play around with this and see what you like. Usually I start about 25-ish though. I think that's a good number to start with. And like I said, we only want it to start at the bottom here on the front and kind of fade out as it goes up. I'm just going to take this brush and we're going to start brushing away everything. And you can see it's kind of lightening up. And if we ended there at the break, we need to break it a little bit off here too. And then we're going to do the same thing, just see if we stopped our 25% opacity brush about right here. We want to start just a little bit higher and do one sweep across all of this pretty evenly. I'm only going to the midline here. Usually I would do the whole thing all the way across, but I'm only going to the midline for this video. So let's go back here, and we stopped about right here, so we're going to go a little bit higher. And just keep doing that over and over again. And if you play with your opacities, you can do this a little bit quicker. Going a little bit higher and wiping away. I'm just doing this one click at a time. Click and then wipe, wipe, wipe. Until I don't see anything more in this little break here. If you're wondering where the breaks are, because they're not always at the perfect edges, this green line is the break point. And then we'll update that. And now I don't really have that break happening anymore. And again, we did that with our black brush, but say we want to, say we want to bring this out just a little bit more with this layer selected, I can change this to white. And so we want to break here, but we want it to come back around this panel here. I'm just going to use my white brush. And you see how I brush and it shows everything here? What we can do is hit Control, highlight our powder blue. So now this is kind of like our borders, and it's only going to put back inside that border there, which I'm actually going to turn this opacity down a lot. And now it fades out and it kind of starts to come back around this area here, which is just a nice little cheap way to skip those breaks and make it so it's not so uneven looking if you wanted to do that. So just zooming in here this last time, you see it kind of fades out, skips that break, and then it's going to start coming back in around the top. And we only did this right side, so it doesn't look like this nasty little break that you have here. Yeah, so that's going to do it for this video here. If you have any questions, be sure to follow our Discord server. I'm going to try to find a way to put a link somewhere in this video so you can have it. You can reach out to me through there and I'll try to answer your question directly. We also got workshop sessions coming up where we're going to be working on some things like this. We'll have signups for that soon, completely free on YouTube. But yeah, hope you have fun with this pattern, this design, and good luck.